Happy Friday to you! It's been another crazy week here at i3D Themes. Good afternoon, it's Brandon Devenich from i3D Themes with this week's interactive number 72, where we share what we're passionate about and what we've been working on in the i3D Themes Design and Code Labs. I'm also going to share a couple embarrassing stories. Ugh, I tell you. Hopefully you can learn from, well, maybe you can learn from both of them. So I'm going to start this week with what's been going on in the design lab. I have to say, Colin showed me his brand new design codenamed O2. I don't know what O1 was because I don't know that we had Onyx, I guess. This is called O2, short for oxygen. This is a really cool looking design. I can't wait to show you some screenshots of it. He's got it in just visual mock-up stage. It's very professional, but very modern, very zippy. It looks really fantastic. I can't wait to get it out there in our catalog for you. He's also planning on flipping that into a WordPress theme pretty quick as well. He's also been juggling a lot of projects and a lot of sales phone calls. And I'm sorry if we've missed your call this week. We can only really answer one call per person at a time. We've also had a lot of conversations, communications going through Facebook Messenger lately, which we haven't had before. But that's a really great way of getting a hold of us as well. Also through our website, we use an online chat system called Intercom. It's really exceptionally good. We've been juggling a lot of inquiries there as well. We've got our hands on all sorts of communication channels this week. So that's what's been keeping Colin really busy this week. A couple things that come up in the news this week in our sort of scope of things that we deal with. One of them is the Facebook algorithm update. So if you maybe you've heard about this, Facebook is updating their algorithm. They make minor changes, all the time. This is more of a major update. This is in response to stuff like fake news, but also finding a lot of news sites and business pages just force-feeding stuff down people's throats, which is not cool, and it's not social. It's just plain spammy. And spammy's never good. And, over the last few years, Facebook has reduced the amount of reach that business pages get anyways. It's anywhere from 1% to 5%. And I would say that i3D Themes, we're sort of on the higher end of that. We can, at times, I'm thinking about it, we have reach of, 10%. But generally speaking, if your content isn't engaging, it's not going to reach a lot of people. And so what Facebook is doing is they're saying, we're going to be showing primarily more stuff from your friends, putting more priority on that. And then within that, more priority on conversations. So comments that are more than just one or two words like, oh yeah, haha. That's something silly or, something more vulgar than that. Something that helps to breed conversation and community and building the conversation. So they're putting much more weight on comments. So this is something that if you have a business page, this is really, really important. If you're trying to put stuff out there, make sure that it's engaging and starts a conversation if you can. And on that topic, I would love to know what your business page is. If you have a Facebook business page, let me know in the comments, because we always like to follow the pages of our clients and our customers and keep on top of what everybody's doing. And we know that there's a lot of great stuff out there, and if we can engage on that as well, we'd love to know about that. So if you have a Facebook business page, please let us know in the comments down below. I'd love to take a look at it. It's almost like a shameless plug for yourself. By all means, go ahead and do it. And so, that's what's been keeping, that's from the Facebook aspect of things. And then on Wednesday, and this is actually a really timely article. This is from the Google, Google Webmaster Central blog. They've officially said out loud, because a lot of stuff they don't say out loud, right? That coming in July, the speed index of a mobile site in mobile search is going to affect search results. So it's already been an aspect of desktop results. How fast your desktop site affects where you're ranked in Google and the search results pages. They're now officially saying it's entering in for mobile sites. it's really going to be an issue if your site is, if you go to Google PageSpeed Insights and you punch in your site and it's in the red, okay? If it's average or above average, you're going to be great. You're going to be fine. It's not really going to impact you. But if it's below average, if you're in below, I think it's 75, it can very well impact how well you are placed. But that should really be an indicator, because it's not really even, it's about being found in search. I mean, that's an extremely important thing. But if somebody comes to your website through another link and it takes a long time for your website to finally load because you haven't optimized it, maybe your images are way too large or whatever, you're going to lose your visitors. They're going to bounce. So this is something that we've been saying for some time now. We've been actually working on this topic for some time, is make sure your website is optimized for performance. Now, we developed this product called Numo Accelerator, which is a plugin for traditional websites, like static websites, your old .html websites. We developed a plugin for that about a year and a half ago, and it runs and optimizes a website within minutes for Google PageSpeed. Takes a look at all the recommendations, optimizes images, defers render blocking, CSS and JavaScript, minifies pages. It all does it automatically. You don't need to know any coding. You just install it and it just works like that. And then back in April of 2017, that's right, we're in 2018 now. Wow, time flies. Back in April, I started work on the WordPress version of Numo Accelerator. We call this Pegasus Accelerator. Now, this is something that I work on pretty much any waking moment that, where I'm not focused on, family or whatever, eating or sleeping. I'm thinking about PageSpeed and how we can make WordPress faster, because WordPress is notoriously slow as it is. So much database overhead. A lot of plugins out there focusing just on page caching, which can speed up the initial load of a page, but it has nothing to do with how fast things render. And so Google PageSpeed Insights tells us how we can make pages render faster. And so we developed this plugin that makes that happen for WordPress. And we launched that in December. And right now we actually have an introductory offer for Pegasus Accelerator. You can actually get it. It's normally $19 a month. You can get it for $9 a month. That's the beauty of Pegasus, is that it's a software as a service. So you don't have to upfront a lot of cost. That said, we have a special promotion going on right now for the Numo Accelerator. It's normally $2.99. It's now available for $1.99 until February 15th. We actually announced that, I'm going to say, just before the Google Webmaster Central blog post, and so it was really timely. Basically, this is your opportunity to make sure that your website is optimized, the performance is optimized ahead of when Google's going to be putting this update into their search algorithm. Okay, so that's pretty important. So on that topic, what have I been busy with this week in the world of PageSpeed? I've been implementing some really exciting new features that we're going to be putting in sort of like the next level up plan for Accelerator that go beyond PageSpeed into some of the more advanced stuff. I hate that word. Sorry. The more advanced techniques that make web pages load even faster beyond Google PageSpeed. So we're going to be talking about that more coming up in the next few weeks as we suss out all the little details, but we're really making some awesome headway there. And so that's really what's been keeping me busy in the Code Lab. But I have a couple embarrassing stories that I think it's kind of funny to take a look at, how things roll here in the Code Lab and the Design Lab. The first story is actually about Colin. I don't know if he wants me to tell you this. Shh, don't tell him. Don't tell him I told you this. But he's actually taking off early today to go head up and see his brother up in Nanaimo, which is about an hour, no, I guess it's almost 2 hours away. They're going to play golf with another friend of theirs this weekend at a local golf course there. Well, we haven't been golfing, and he hasn't been golfing, since our big golf trip back in October. It was the wettest tournament that we've ever been to. The thing is that I guess after Colin got back, He's like, he was done with his golf stuff. He didn't bother to check his wet, soggy clothes that he squirreled away. And until today, when he opened up his golf bag, and yeah, you can imagine how that looked. So here's a lesson to you. Always take your wet clothing out of whatever thing you've got right away and throw it into the laundry. Don't wait until you accidentally discover it 3 months later. Yeah, so there you go. But the other embarrassing story is actually about myself. And, you know, in the realm of web development, there are some things that you can do to optimize your site for SEO. One of them being making sure that you have your canonical URLs set up properly. Now, canonical, it's a funny word. If you don't know what it is, if you've never heard of it before, Google it. But in short term, it's the permalink for your page. It's the link that you're saying, if this code is somehow found on another page, I want this other page to be, you know, considered the primary page. Okay, so we watch all these key terms for, you know, search terms that people come to us for, and we have landing page for each search term. We were noticing that at the end of December, one particular search term dropped right off, nosedived. We're like, what is going on? We haven't changed anything on the page. Nothing. You know, our social engagement is great. Page speed is fast. What is going on? We had meetings. We had another meeting yesterday, and I'm looking at it in Google Search Console, the Webmaster Tools Search Console. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, it just drops. Like, what's going on? I know we're still getting some hits this page, but Search Console is not recording anything. And then our actual search ranks, you know, are doing this for this search term. It's all over the place. And then I realized, you know, about 2 years ago, we switched our site over to HTTPS. So we made sure the entire website was secured. This is one of these small things that you can do for your SEO, is making sure your website is running a secure certificate. Well, prior to that, I had set up the canonical URL for this particular landing page. And it went like this: http://www.i3dthemes.com/ and then the landing page. Well, when we switched over to use a secure certificate for all of our website, I missed this one web page. But I didn't realize that I missed this one web page for, you know, going through and changing that one line. Everything else had been changed. All the other references have been changed to HTTPS except this one line. And I checked. We actually had a second, what's called a property in Google Webmaster Tools Search Console for the non-secured i3D themes. Hardly any hits registered, except starting in December, this one key term. I'm like, what is going on? So I took a look at the source code in the one landing page, and would you know what, the canonical URL was incorrect. It was pointing to the non-secured page. Facepalm moment. You realize it was something as simple as one character. The letter S needed to be in that one spot, and everything would, you know, properly line up. The thing is that that page is telling Google that the reference should be the HTTP protocol, even though that's not what's in the search indexes. And so things were, you know, the page authority was being split in half, and Google was getting confused. It's really, really important that you make sure that you get all these things, your ducks in a row. Nice thing about WordPress is that it handles all that stuff for you, the canonical URL. If you're using a static web page, something that you hand code, generally speaking, you don't need to set up the canonical URLs unless you've got some dynamic stuff going on in your website. But as i3D Themes, I hand coded every single line of i3D Themes by hand since, I think, 2002. When I started it, we took it from a static HTML website to a dynamic website, and so every single line is my responsibility, and there's probably 40,000 lines of code and hundreds of different pages, and I missed one character. Ugh. Anyways, you know, mistakes happen. So I've corrected that mistake, but that's one of those things where you go, oh, really? Did I do that, or did I not do that? It happens. And so, anyways, if you can learn from that, if you have a dynamic website and you use canonical URLs, please make sure, if you're going to go switch over to HTTPS, make sure you check every single canonical reference in your web page. so you don't make the same mistake. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. This is a bit of a long one this week. Hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. If there's anything in this video that you think maybe somebody else might need or like, by all means, please share it. Maybe tag them in the comments. Let me know if there's something that you liked or thought maybe I was off base about. Crazy Brandon. Or something you want to share about one of the topics that I've talked about today, either it being PageSpeed announcement by Google or Facebook algorithm update. Or again, if you have a Facebook business page, I'd love to know what that is. Please put it down in the comments. We'd love to just check out what everybody's doing, all of our clients are doing. Anyways, thanks again for joining me. We'll talk to you again next week. Next Friday, I'm going to schedule that as well. And so you'll probably get an announcement if you're watching our channel. Have a great weekend. All right, bye-bye.